Don't you wish you could play like that? Gee, I don't know. First, I'd like to welcome you all here on this night where we celebrate how lucky we are to have so many great people in our community. I mean, we are truly blessed as a city here to have so many great volunteers, so many great people that live in our city. And, every year that we hold these awards, to be honest, we have an endless supply of people who do wonderful things for us. And we are very, very grateful for that. I would like to say before we get going, first, our MP, Mr. Sidhu, and our MLAs, Bob Deeth and MLA Gibson, are both in Victoria and in Ottawa, in the case of Jyoti Sidhu. And so they send their regrets and their best wishes. In fact, someone just told me today that Bob Deeth got up in the legislature today and read off the names of every award recipient. So I think that's pretty cool. I also have a message from Jim Hines, who can't be here tonight. Jim and his wife Mary are actually on an ocean cruise, and I'm sure Jim would probably rather be here. I'm sure who wants to an ocean cruise? But he did send this message. He says, "I'm sorry I cannot be here tonight. On behalf of my wife Mary and myself, we would like to congratulate all of the recipients of the Mission Community Service Awards. Mission has a long history of volunteerism and is what makes our community strong. For over 125 years, the people of this community have stepped up to help their clubs and organizations make Mission a stronger and a great place to live. For your efforts, I thank you." And that's Councillor Jim Hines. And so I'd like to welcome all of the award recipients, but also their families and friends and those that are here tonight. I'm so glad that you could all make it. I think it's fitting that we honor people like this, and I'm sure you all agree. So before we begin presenting the awards, there's just a few things that we need to touch on. For the award recipients, if you've all got a program, and I hope if you'll follow along in the program, and when it gets to 2 awards before yours, if you could make your way up the stairs here to the side of the stage, and then from there you'll be guided onto the stage when it's time to receive your reward. And then once you receive your reward, there'll be a photographer here wanting to take a picture. Family members, that's your opportunity also to take a photo, and that's pretty much how simple it all is. These things are supposed to go really smoothly, and Christine Bruff, who's toiled over putting this program together, is extremely nervous that things won't go exactly to script, but it's all going to work, because we are all Missionites. So now we're going to start presenting the awards. So I'm going to introduce our first speaker, and our councillors will take turns reading about the award recipients. And our first one, I think, is Councillor Alexis. So, Pam, if you want to come on out.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Alexis.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Your Worship. Okay, we get to begin. Everybody, recipients, take a deep breath. Our first award this evening is a Community Service Award, and it goes to Beverly James. Beverly James is a hard-working and dedicated individual who volunteers on behalf of a variety of organizations within the community, including, but not limited to, Mission Community Services Society, the Reel on the River film series, Mission Folk Music Festival, Guerrilla Gardeners, Friends of the Library, what was formerly known as Mission Adopt-A-Block, now called Mission Environmental Stewardship Society. It's a lot of them. Over the years, Beverly has picked up garbage, planted flowers, decorated buildings, raised funds, sold poppies, completed tax returns, and dressed up in costume, all for the good of the community and the various causes that she supports. Along with her husband Ian, who is also a volunteer, Beverly gives selflessly of her time and energy and is quick to downplay her own contributions. In fact, Beverly says that for her, it's all about people. She's grateful to live in Mission and is extremely proud to be part of Mission's amazing community of volunteers. Beverly lives out her belief that if one person can make a difference, then many people working together can make a huge difference. We are very happy to be able to honor her this evening, and it is with great pleasure that Councillor Hamilton will now present Beverly James with her 2018 Community Service Award. So now you're going to go over into the green room. Okay. Congratulations. Our next award is the Arts and Culture Service Award being presented to Corey Castle, who brought his own fan club. Corey Castle is a lifelong advocate of the arts, and more particularly an advocate for engaging in arts that animate and unite a community. Corey discovered in high school that the band and theater programs were safe havens for students who did not fit the norm, and he sought companionship and diversity among his more creative peers. Ultimately, he carried this through to his adult life and his career. Corey strives to create safe and secure places that allow participants to express themselves in a manner that is both artistic and accepting. He works diligently behind the scenes with a number of community organizations to bring a high level of entertainment and talent to Mission. Corey has been instrumental in providing a space for local and touring musicians to perform and for the community to hear new and innovative music. Most recently, he's taken a boarded-up establishment and turned it into the lively and engaging performance venue known as The Stage. In doing so, he has helped energize an area of downtown Mission, transforming it in the evening hours into an optimistic and positive place to be. Until recently, Corey was also the publisher of the What's On magazine. He worked tirelessly to allow community groups to advertise for little or no cost, and under his guidance, the magazine became a go-to community resource and a promotional tool for a number of our nonprofit local organizations. It's with much appreciation and on behalf of the District of Mission that Councillor Nicholson will now present Corey Castle with his 2018 Arts and Culture Service Award. Congratulations, Corey. Our next award is a Community Service Award, and it goes to Loa Duncan. Loa Duncan is a passionate educator who spent 40 years teaching within the public school system. After retirement, she missed interacting with students and applied to be a volunteer with the Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Fraser Valley's in-school mentor program. This program pairs adults with children at local elementary schools. From 2006 to 2017, Loa mentored 6 children from 3 different schools in Mission. While the program itself requires only a 1-year commitment, Loa took a different approach. Once matched with a student, she chose to follow that child through to the end of elementary school. She taught her little buddies how to sew, knit, cross-stitch, bake, and play both board and literacy games. Loa also served as a friend, confidant, and role model, and earned the trust, love, and respect of her young partners. Loa was born with a passion for teaching that has never waned, and she considers herself lucky to have been able to work with children after her retirement. She says that it's a privilege and a joy to be there for young people, to help them learn and watch them grow. In 2015, Loa received the Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Fraser Valley Mission Volunteer of the Year Award for going above and beyond in her many years of service to the children of our community. We are happy to be able to honor her tonight as well. With much appreciation and on behalf of the District of Mission, Councillor Plecas will now present Loa Duncan with her 2018 Community Service Award. There's a camera in the middle. There we go. Oh, dear. Our next award is for crime prevention and community safety, and it goes to John Kersman. Thank you. John Kersman is a retired Navy veteran who has also worked as a paramedic for the BC Ambulance Service and as a safety officer for BC Hydro. A past District of Mission Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, John has volunteered on behalf of a wide range of organizations over the years, including the Royal Canadian Legion, Pleasant View Housing Society, the Mission Seniors Association, and the Aurora Air Cadets. It is, however, his dedication to public safety that is being celebrated here today. John has been a volunteer with the Mission RCMP Crime Prevention Office for the past 18 years. At the age of 86, he continues to dedicate more than 500 volunteer hours per year to this cause, almost 3 times the average. John is admired and respected by the public, his fellow crime prevention volunteers, and Mission RCMP members. Described as the ultimate volunteer who is a wealth of knowledge for the Crime Prevention Office and the district, John brings his unique blend of energy and enthusiasm to everything he does. He is a compassionate person who genuinely cares about others and about making Mission a safe and wonderful place to live. He says that he has a great deal of respect for our law enforcement personnel, loves volunteering, and especially enjoys educating the public on personal safety. John is well known for his approach to public safety and can often be heard instructing the community on his 4 L's. Look, listen, learn, and log. Great information. It's with great pleasure that Mayor Hawes will now present John Kersman with his 2018 Crime Prevention and Community Safety Award.
Before John gets this award, although they don't know that I was going to do this.
Do you want a microphone?
But I'm going to ask Inspector Fellner and I think I saw Jamie Nopes there, who is our crime prevention officer. Both of them are here because they know how important the work that John does is for our community. So come on, Inspector, we would like you to come out for the picture as well.
I think she's in the green room.
Right
Oh,
there.
she is right there. Okay, so is she coming out?
This is our and our crime prevention officer, Jamie Nopes. Turn down or up?
Up. Up, maybe. Down?
Oh, down.
Oh, down.
They can see it.
Oh, okay. I remember that. Well, you've got quite the fan club, too. Lots of photos.
No, we were going to ask the inspector to say a few words, but I don't, unless he wants to.
So John, I will, but
Uh,
no, and it's,
do you want to
my
come?
voice may project loud enough, and just on behalf, I guess, of Mission RCMP and for all the years that you've dedicated to us in the community, it means a lot to us. We can't do what we do without the support of the community, so thank you very much for all you've done for the last 19 years. Thank you.
So we'll all go for a photo. Jamie, maybe will. If you could lead the way to the green room.
Thank you. Yes, I know.
Our next award is a Community Service Award, and it goes to Janice Forster. Janice Forster is a social worker with the Ministry of Children and Family Development, who is also a very active, often behind-the-scenes community volunteer. Janice began volunteering years ago when her children were young, working a crisis hotline from home. She is now known as one of Mission's invaluable go-to people. Whenever you need something done or you're short of manpower, Janice can be counted on to step in and fill the gap. She has volunteered at the Mission Folk Music Festival for over 20 years, and more recently she has begun helping out with the Envision concert series in Fraser River Heritage Park. And she's a fixture there because I see her there every Wednesday and every Friday through the summer. Janice is also an enthusiastic Mission Youth House supporter and volunteer, and recently completed her training with the Mission Hospice Society. Janice believes that you get more out of volunteering than you give, and she enjoys interacting with other volunteers and the community at large. A naturally compassionate and caring individual, Janice is one of Mission's many unsung heroes, and it is our pleasure to recognize her contributions in this way. With much appreciation, and on behalf of the District of Mission, Councillor Stevens will now present Janice Forster with her 2018 Community Service Award. Thank you. Congratulations. So, yeah, we need a photo. And so now just in the green room. Good job, Jenny. Our next award is a Lifetime Achievement Award, and it goes to Bonnie Harbour. Another fan club. Bonnie Harbour is a remarkable woman with a kind heart and a wonderful sense of humor who has lived in the Steelhead community for almost 4 decades. She was on the Steelhead Community Association Board of Directors for many years and is still an active and enthusiastic member of the association. Before the hall was built, she used to host board meetings in her home, and during the hall's 7-year construction, Bonnie took part in almost every work bee. She would bring sandwiches, cookies, and coffee for the workers, and never hesitated to roll up her sleeve when there was cleaning to be done. In recent years, Bonnie has become a fixture at the hall, opening the venue, setting up for the events, serving coffee and food, and cleaning up when the night is done. An integral part of the Steelhead community, Bonnie has invested thousands of hours into both the hall and the association. For many years, Bonnie was also president of the Foster Parent Association, and she still attends meetings and serves as a member at large. She has cared for dozens of children, and her dedication and kindness is felt by everyone who knows her. Bonnie downplays her contributions and is quick to sing the praises of her friends and neighbors. She stresses that she's just one individual in an amazing community of people. Bonnie said that she feels honored to live in the Steelhead area in particular and in Mission as a whole. The community in turn is very grateful for the many wonderful things that she does, and it's with much appreciation that Councillor Hamilton will now present Bonnie Harbour with her 2018 Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you. And now I'd like to ask Councillor Plecas to take the microphone. So Councillor Plecas, are you ready? Here he is. Okay, it's your turn.
Thank you very much. Good evening, and thank you, Councillor Alexis. The next award of the evening will be presented to Dan Williams, Sports Volunteer of the Year Award. Dan Williams has been volunteering on behalf of the sports in Mission for almost a quarter of a century. He is past Community Service Award recipient, the current president of Mission Minor Baseball. The mic went. Thanks. Good. Thanks very much. A group created in 2000. He is the president of the Mission Sports Council, a group created in 2015 in order to promote and provide one cohesive voice for sports in our community. Dan has a great love for baseball. He's been active on behalf of Mission Minor Baseball, Challenger Baseball, and BC Baseball, and was instrumental in having a batting cage built at Mission Rotary Sports Park as a project nears its completion now. Dan is known for his energy and enthusiasm, as well as for his desire to promote health and sports-related opportunity for children within our community. To further this goal, he has worked with the Parks, Recreation, Cultural Department to bring kids sports to Mission under Mission Sports Council umbrella so that the sports program can develop and grow. Dan says the most rewarding part about volunteering is seeing the young people that have been positively impacted in sports in our community, and knowing that in some small way he has played a part in making this happen. He also points out that he does not volunteer alone. He's just one person among many, and this is what makes volunteering so wonderful. It builds community through a common goal to enrich the lives of those who need a hand. Well, Dan would happily play down his contribution. It does give us great pleasure to honor him here tonight, and is with much appreciation, Councillor Nixon will now present Dan Williams with his well-deserved 2018 Sports Volunteer Year of the Award. Thank you, Dan. The next award is going to Jordan Mooney, the Community Service Award, under the age of 25. Jordan Mooney is an exceptional young woman who is known for her kindness, generosity, optimism, and delightful sense of humor. Now 15 years old and a student of Mission Senior Secondary School, Jordan first became volunteering alongside her mother when she was very young. Over the years, she has developed her own voice and a heart for helping others. Jordan has raised money for and volunteered on behalf of a variety of causes and organizations, including Cops for Cancer, Muscular Dystrophy Association, the Mission Food Bank, Breast Cancer Awareness, Mission Youth House, and our own First Stage Housing Facility, just to name a few. Jordan has also helped out in Canada Day, volunteered at the horse camp, and spent visiting time with and helping seniors at the Residence in Mission, which we commonly know as TRIM. Wise beyond her years, Jordan possesses a stellar work ethic and has a strength of character and a resiliency that most adults would envy. As a young girl, Jordan experienced a number of difficult things, including the loss of several people close to her, and began to suffer from anxiety. She started to bake as a way to manage her symptoms and found it therapeutic and developed an idea called Coke Cakes. Ultimately, she decided to use what she had learned to help others. Working in partnership with local community groups, she organized and developed Coke Cake sessions for young who, like herself, struggle with anxiety. Jordan recognizes that life can sometimes be very difficult, but she says she has learned that if we have people in our lives that we can turn to for support, then no matter what we are facing, we don't need to feel alone. Jordan says that she's very grateful for all the love and support she has received, and she wants to be a youth mental health and addiction counselor one day so that she can in turn help others. We are very fortunate to have someone like this young lady in our community, and it is with much appreciation. Councillor Alexis will now present Jordan Mooney with her 2018 Community Service Award under age of 25 category.
Okay.
Thank you. The next award will be going to, as a Community Service Award, going to Reg and Lily Sayers. Reg and Lily Sayers are a husband and wife team who volunteer extensively at Mission Community Services. Reg has been involved in Mission Community Services for the past 8 years, and Lily has been helping out for the past 6. Reg volunteers in Seniors Connection Office, and they both enjoy part of the amazing group of people who run Mission Chris Bureau. They are, however, perhaps best known for their efforts on behalf of Mission Community Services Volunteer Income Tax Program, which provides free tax preparation for qualified residents. During the 2016 tax season, they helped 858 residents complete their tax. And in 2017, that number rose to 990. Reg is in charge of looking after and helping fill out the intake forms, answering questions, notifying people when their documents are ready for pickup, and explaining the income tax returns when they come in. Lily, on the other hand, works diligently and efficiently in the office, organizing all the forms and distributing these to volunteers, tax preparers. Lily and Reg are known for their hard work, dedication, kindness, and patience. When asked why they volunteer, both Reg and Lily spoke about how good it feels to help others. They also want to stress that they are just a part of a large, impressive team of volunteers who work incredibly hard each year to help others in the community. It is with much respect and appreciation that Mayor Hawes will now present Reg and Lily Sayers with the 2018 Community Service Award. Thank you. The mayor just reminded me that we have all award winners. We'd like them to come up on stage after for a group photo. So we want to make sure you're still here. We come together right after the ceremony is over. So thank you for doing that. The next award is a Community Service Award for the under the age of 25, and it'll go going to Doug Hughes. Doug Hughes is an impressive young man who has been volunteering in one way or another for many years. With a heart for both people and animals, Doug started helping in a cow shelter when he was just 12 years old. and has grown into an inspirational supporter and advocate for youth, the LGBTQ and SOG in our community. Doug has given presentations to staff and students at the University of the Fraser Valley on the topics through the Fraser Valley Youth Society, and has participated in many community events and to bring awareness to youth the barriers they face. Doug has helped organize and volunteer at the Fraser Valley Pride event. He also has volunteered on behalf of the Mission Folk Festival and was a counselor at Camp Luther for several years. Doug says that it's important for him to participate in and give back to the community. He places great value in treating people with respect and in forging positive relationships with others. Having himself been a child in the foster care system, Doug works hard to reach out to youth in need of support, providing guidance wherever possible. We are very fortunate to have a young man of his caliber in our community, and there was much appreciation that Councillor Hamilton will now present Doug Hughes with his 2018 Service Award in the Underage 25 category. Thank you, Doug. Our next award will be going to Dick Brody for Lifetime Achievement. Dick Brody is a long-time Mission resident who has been volunteering in this community in one capacity or another since he moved here in the early 1980s. Dick was named the Sports Volunteer of the Year in 1991. In recognition of his tireless efforts on behalf of many different sports clubs in Mission, including but not limited to lacrosse, soccer, and badminton. Dick served as the president of Mission Soccer Club for 7 years and the president of Mission Minor Lacrosse for 5 years. He coached both sports for 15 years and was a long-time badminton coach at Cherry Hill Elementary School. Dick is also a founding member of the Mission Optimist Club and serves as the president has served as the president for several years. He organized the Optimist Club charity golf tournament for 18 years and has served a term on the Governor Optimist International. Dick loves working with and helping youth and has a great deal of respect for his fellow volunteers. He says that the best part of volunteering is the people that you meet, and he encourages everyone to go out and find something they love to do, and then help as many people as you can. Dick points out that ultimately it is not about the community, what you can do, but rather what you can do for your community. It is with much appreciation and on behalf of the District of Mission that Councillor Nicholson will now present Dick Brody with his 2018 Lifetime Achievement Award. Well, Dick. Thank you, Councillor Nixon. Our next award is also a Lifetime Achievement Award, and it's going to go to Sophie Zenner. Sophie Zenner. Sophie Zenner is a very hard-working and dedicated woman who has contributed to the betterment of this community for almost 5 decades. A 2014 Community Service Award recipient, she has also been recognized for her work on the Senior Centers Task Force and was celebrated as a Woman of Distinction by the Mission Community Archives Path and Pathfinders Program in 2015. A tireless advocate for seniors both in our community and throughout the province, Sophie serves as the president of the Mission Branch of the Old Age Pensioners Association and as an alternate director for the North Fraser Old Age Pensioners Association. In addition to all of this, she is a very hardworking member of the Ukrainian Church and Hall. Sophie is passionate in her pursuits. She is a skilled spokesperson and advocate, but she is also where the rubber meets the road type of volunteer who is happy to roll up her sleeves and pitch in wherever there is a need. She prepares lunches, organizes events, and is quick to assist those around her who may require her hand. It is with much appreciation that Councillor Stevens will now present Sophie with her well-deserved 2018 Lifetime Achievement Award. That's good. Thank you, Josie. I'd like to now pass the podium off to Councillor Hamilton for the next session.
Good evening, everyone. 2017 was a significant year for our community as it marked the 125th anniversary of our incorporation in 1892. Mission's 125th anniversary was a year filled with events and celebrations recognizing the strength of our heritage and our culture. Again and again throughout the year, we were honored and inspired by the energy and commitment of all who took part in celebrating Mission. Over 500 volunteers and 600 artists and artisans and performers made it possible for thousands of people from across our community and the region to come together to explore, honor, and celebrate the past 125 years and beyond. It was truly a special year, and each and every person who took part deserves our thanks. Let's share a round of applause for all of the artists, performers, and volunteers who helped to make the year so memorable. This evening, we recognize a very special group who, under the leadership of Stephanie Key, our Deputy Director of Parks, Recreation and Culture, designed, developed, and hosted the marquee events and coordinated the efforts of hundreds of volunteers, performers, artists, and artisans across the community in honoring and celebrating Mission's 125th anniversary. We have a few names to mention, so please hold your applause until I have read out all the names. Together, join us in recognizing Nancy Arcan for her creative flair and ongoing commitment to the arts. Remco Bergman for his dedicated volunteerism and leadership among peers and local businesses. Val Bilsberger as our community archivist for her invaluable contributions into highlighting the many Mission moments of our past 125 years and her presence and involvement in nearly every single aspect of the anniversary. Kirsten Parsons, Joanne Chadwick, and Janessa Dirksen for their contributions to the marquee events, especially the chili. Jamie Hayes for her support in rallying historic downtown Mission and hosting a Mission Fest to remember. Doug Pearson and Jean Price for their work helping connect across generations and bringing together Mission seniors to reflect and celebrate. Angie Hetlinger for her energy and commitment and for engaging the Mission Community Foundation in the anniversary. Afton Schindel, our community librarian, for her creativity and commitment to involving the library in the events. Joanna McBride for coordinating everything to the Fraser River Heritage Park, and Danielle Chard for backing her up and bringing calm, creative energy to the events. Michelle Demers-Chavets for continually inspiring with fresh ideas, excellent programming, and world-class performances to the Folk Festival and beyond. Michael Bornowski for bringing people together throughout the year to celebrate the important milestone. And finally, to Stephanie Key for her tireless leadership and attention to detail that made sure each and every event was a success. Together, they formed the 125th Anniversary Organizing Committee, and we are pleased to present them with a special recognition award for their work in bringing the anniversary to life. With much appreciation and on behalf of the District of Mission, Councillor Alexis will present the 125th Anniversary Committee members with their 2018 Special Recognition Award.
Mr. Hammerman, how are you going to organize this? Can you see us all? You good?
I think we're good.
That's switch.
Ready?
Maybe. Okay, how's that better? For people in front? Okay, we got the sign. We good? Okay, we're good. So now we're going to go to the green river. We'll do it all over again.
Dan Rempel is the lead pastor at the Cedar Valley Mennonite Church. In the summer of 2015, Dan initiated a project that touched the hearts of many in the community and ultimately changed the lives of 14 people forever. Moved by the plight of refugees throughout the world and recognizing that many hands working together can accomplish what two cannot, Dan sent a message to local churches asking if there was interest in sponsoring refugees from the Congo to come to mission. What followed was an outpouring of compassion and generosity, not just from our local churches, but from the community as a whole. It took a large group of dedicated people, a lot of hard work, and months of planning, strategizing, and ingenuity. But in March 2016, a family of 14 refugees from the Congo arrived via Burundi to their new homes in Mission. Described as a compassionate and caring leader who is dedicated to both his congregation and his community, Dan is quick to minimize his role in bringing this initiative to fruition. He says that it is very proud of the way the community worked together, not just to bring the refugees to Canada, but also to help encourage and welcome them after their arrival. He also recognized the challenges faced by the refugees themselves, who have had to adjust to a new country, a new culture, a new climate, and a new language. It is with great appreciation on behalf of the District of Mission that Councillor Plecas will now present Dan Rempel with the much-deserved 2018 Special Accomplishment Award. Natasha Cox is a project manager with the Fraser Valley Watersheds Coalition and a passionate community and environmental champion. Both through her job and as a member of the public, she works tirelessly to promote partnerships and education related to watershed restoration and preservation. Described by others as intelligent, inclusive, and inspirational, Natasha has a gift for bringing people together. She works with nonprofit organizations, corporations, all levels of government, First Nations, and our local community. Coordinating watershed and environmental projects, she connects with children and their families, students and interested community members to nature through hands-on action and playful learning exploration. Natasha is also an active volunteer who over the years has dedicated countless hours on behalf of a number of organizations, including the Fraser Valley Conservancy, the TD Friends of the Environment Foundation, and Echo Canada as the BC chapter lead. She is also a supporter of the Mission Folk Music Festival and a former member of the District of Mission's Heritage Commission. Natasha's dual role as both a professional biologist and a community volunteer has made her especially appreciative of the contributions of those around her. Natasha says that the volunteers at the Fraser Valley Watersheds Coalition and in the community at large are an inspiration to her, and she is very grateful to play a small part in their efforts to make watershed restoration and environmental conservation a reality. It is with much appreciation that Councillor Nicholson will now present Natasha Cox with her 2018 Community Service Award. Mervyn Hildebrandt is a longtime mission resident who has been volunteering at the Mission Food Bank since 2004 and has been a member of the Citizens Advisory Committee at our local prisons for over a decade. He is described as the kind of man who comes before everyone else, works hard, and takes care of business without getting ruffled. Mervyn has a reputation for being honest and frank, but also humble and kind. He takes the time to get to know people's names and always does his best to accommodate the needs of his clients. Whether he is working to improve the lives of prison inmates or assisting those in need within our community, Mervyn's practical, can-do approach is very much appreciated by those around him. He says that he does not think of himself as a volunteer. He is just a guy who enjoys helping out and having a say in the community. With much appreciation and on behalf of the District of Mission, Mayor Hawes will now present Mervyn Hildebrandt with his well-deserved 2018 Community Service Award. Daphne Slee is an accomplished author who has been researching and writing about British Columbia's history since the 1970s. A longtime Historical Society volunteer, Daphne co-authored her first book, Maple Ridge, A History of Settlement, as part of a team working out of the Maple Ridge Historical Society. Her second book, Discovering Desroches, was published in 1983 and won the Lieutenant Governor's Award from the BC Historical Federation. Since then, she has researched and written 9 more books and has contributed countless hours as a dedicated and enthusiastic volunteer of the Mission District Historical Society. Daphne's most recent project involved working with archivist Valerie Bilsberger to adapt and update a book on Mission that was first published in 1973. The initial plan was to make minor changes and reprint the book in honor of Mission's 125th anniversary last year. However, the project quickly became far more comprehensive in scope. Retitled Mission as It Was, the second edition contains many additional facts and photos, tells stories about Mission and the communities along the Fraser River from Stave Falls to Lake Erie, and fills in the historical record from the 1970s to the present in an informative and captivating way. Daphne spent hundreds of hours researching, writing, editing, and compiling this book. Because of her efforts, an important part of Mission's history has been preserved not only for us, but for future generations as well. It is with heartfelt appreciation that Councillor Alexis will now present Daphne Slee with her much-deserved Special Accomplishment Award. And I'll turn it over to Councillor Nicholson.
Hi, everybody. This is my first time doing the announcing, so I'm going to do my best here. Today, we have number 18 on the agenda, Mr. Wally Workington. Wally Workington moved to Mission just a few months ago, but he's actively contributed to the betterment of our community for many years. A lifelong volunteer, Wally became involved with Canadian Cadets program 12 years ago and joined the 521 Aurora Squadron Royal Canadian Air Cadets in Mission 8 years ago. No one knows for sure exactly how many hours Wally volunteers, but the estimates are in the 100 to 140 hour range. What everyone can agree on, though, however, is that the program would not be the same without him. Wally is a leader, a mentor, and a gifted instructor. He attends almost every squadron activity and teaches lessons on effective speaking, orienteering, survival, teamwork, special operations, and leadership. He also encourages and inspires and challenges the cadets to do their very best. Wally says that he's honored to work with a really great bunch of kids and explained that they have a special knack for making him feel young, and sometimes not so young. He believes in commitment and hard work and enjoys watching children grow up and become mature, responsible adults. The cadets of the Aurora Squadron, their families, and the District Mission as a whole are grateful for Wally and recognize his role in helping to guide and shape the youth of our community. It is with much appreciation that Councillor Plecas, on behalf of the District Mission, will now present Wally Workington with his 2018 Community Service Award. Julie Hartland and Monica Harder are good friends who have joined forces to create a truly impressive volunteering team. With a shared love for both gardening and animals, Julie and Monica have worked together and to raise thousands of dollars over the years for the Fraser Valley Humane Society, Saints, and the Elizabeth Wildlife Center. The majority of the funds that they raise are dedicated to the operation of the Fraser Valley Humane Society Feline Adoption Center on Railway Avenue, which benefits our furry friends and their human families in Mission and the surrounding area. Monica and Julie are the driving force behind the number of well-known fundraising initiatives in our community. Many of you will be familiar with their Green Thumb plant sale, which occurs 2 weekends in May. As well as their very successful bake sales that takes place twice a year at Prospera Credit Union. They are also involved in Pet Photos with Santa project and usually have a raffle or two on the go. They travel all over the Fraser Valley collecting funds from businesses that have agreed to display donation boxes and have forged strong relationships with local pet stores and businesses who donate pet food to the food bank. Julie and Monica are quick to express gratitude. Their incredible network of volunteers and businesses who have donated both time and money to their cause. We in turn are grateful to them for the amazing way in which they lead and inspire others. With much appreciation, and on behalf of the District of Mission, Councillor Hamilton will now present Julie Hartland and Monica Harder with the well-deserved 2018 Community Service Award. Sneaky quick hug to you.
Thanks, dear.
Ernestine O'Rourke, known to her friends as Ernie, is an enthusiastic supporter of the Mission Friendship Center, Mission Connect events, Stone Soup, and Mission Youth House, and is a well-known and much-beloved advocate for at-risk youth in Mission. Ernie knows firsthand how precarious life can be for young people. When her own biological mother died when she was very young. As the story goes, her adopted mother heard about an orphan child who needed some clothes, stopped by with a donation, and promptly fell in love. Ernie went from being all alone to being her siblings' most unexpected Christmas gift. Ernie said she learned the importance of getting involved and giving back from her mother, who used to collect mittens and gloves that Ernie would then hand out to those in need. As an adult, Ernie spent most of her career working in family law practices and witnessed firsthand the positive and negative impacts that circumstances can have on children. Her own personal history combined with professional experience have led a now retired Ernie to become extensively involved in helping Mission's most vulnerable populations in any way she can. Ernie runs women's groups and supports the homeless and generally gives generously of her time wherever it is needed within the community. She is, however, perhaps best known for advocacy work on behalf of Mission's youth. Part of the My House project, from its concept and construction phase, Ernie is now known as the House Mom. She is on the My House Advisory Committee and famous for her Friday night family meals. Ernie believes that everyone, especially youth, need to feel like they belong and connected to something bigger than just themselves. She stresses the importance of establishing healthy adult relationships and believes that we need to combat the effect and neglect and abandonment in our youth. Ernie does precisely that. She helped create a sense of what home can be like for those who in many cases have never experienced it. When you ask Ernie what drives her, she will tell you that she's all about people, especially youth, and it shows. Mission is safer, healthier, and more welcoming place because of this wonderful woman. And it's with much appreciation on behalf of the District of Mission that Mayor Hawes will now present Ernestine O'Rourke with her 2018 Community Service Award. Congratulations. Tracy Martin was born and raised in Mission. As someone who has overcome many significant challenges faced by people with intellectual disabilities, including stigma and discrimination, Tracy has developed a special place in hearts for others, especially those who are in many ways the most vulnerable members of our community. Tracy has three part-time jobs and is a busy personal life, but she still finds time to volunteer extensively. For the past 6 years, Tracy has dedicated countless hours to Mission Community Service Society. In her volunteer position, she assists in assembling hygiene kits and that are later distributed to individuals who are homeless or who live in Mission shelter. Tracy also volunteers her time to teach other adults with intellectual disabilities how to use the Mission transit system. When asked why she volunteers, Tracy said, was initially guided by the general desire to give back to the community, but that she specifically chose to work at Mission Community Services assembling hygiene kits because she wanted to help people in an immediate and a meaningful way. Tracy explained that small things can have big impact and that everyone feels better, more confident, and more included in society when they are clean. Tracy is a truly beautiful person who is committed to helping others feel more beautiful as well. It is with much appreciation and on behalf of the District of Mission that Councillor Alexis will now present Tracy Martin with her Against the Odds Achievement Award. Congratulations, Tracy. Now we have a Lifetime Achievement Award for Ron Cocroft. Ron Cocroft was an extraordinary man whose kindness, compassion, and drive to serve others touched all those around him. His passing in October of 2017 was a great loss to our community, and Council felt it was only right to honor him posthumously with the Lifetime Achievement Award. Ron was an intellect and hard-working gentleman who came to Mission with his wife in the early 1990s. He ran a nursery in Ferndale for a number of years before retiring. Once in retirement, he served his community as a volunteer with the Mission Community Service Society volunteered as a seniors counselor, and became a driver and dispatcher for the Canadian Cancer Society. Over the years, Ron lent his voice to a number of committees, participated in fundraisers, and helped people with their taxes and other government-required documents. Most importantly, though, Ron listened to people. He took the time to sit with them, to get to know them, he encouraged them, and he treated them with respect. Ron was given a much-deserved Community Service Award from the District of Mission in 2006, and in recent years he struggled with increasingly poor health that gradually drew him further and further away from both his family and the community. Though we are saddened by his passing, we are grateful for the opportunity to recognize the countless ways in which he went out of his way to improve the lives of the people around him. His beloved wife, Sandy, tells us that Ron really loved the Fraser Valley and the people he met here. We, in turn, are very much honored to have called him one of our own. His daughter, Stephanie Cocroft Brown, would now like to say a few words on behalf of the family. Stephanie.
I'm not saying anything.
You're not saying anything? Okay. Stephanie is overwhelmed, and we're just going to let her bypass the speech. And that brings us to our Citizen of the Year, Mr. Barry McLeod. Barry McLeod is a remarkable man whose passion for the community extends far beyond the parameters of his job. Barry is a youth worker who's devoted not just to his career, but also his life to helping others. He spent the first 10 years after graduating from the University of Manitoba working in Vancouver's downtown east side, before taking a job in Abbotsford. 2 years later, in 1993, he moved to Mission, where he has lived and worked ever since. Barry says he appreciates the friendliness of Mission residents, but also values the made-in Mission mentality, which is characterized by people who are willing to step up and work together in order to get things done. Barry sits and has sat on multiple committees, both as an individual and a Youth Unlimited representative. He is active at Mission Connect events, Stone Soup Suppers, and a champion for the restorative justice and restorative ways of resolving conflict for youth in our community. Barry volunteers as a coach and a mentor, and he has taught sports, art, and woodworking. He is a longtime advocate of Mission Youth House and said that he knew from the start that as long as the project was built on a foundation of unconditional love, that would be the bridge that was needed to help young people feel safe and at home. There is quite simply not enough time here this evening to list all of Barry's many accomplishments. He is hardworking, down-to-earth, and a kind-hearted man who has been described by one of his colleagues as both a hero and a walking example of community development and mission. We're very honored to have this opportunity to celebrate Barry and his profound impact that he's had on the community. Shortly after the names of this year's award recipients were announced, the district was contacted by members of the community who asked if they could put together a short video for Barry that could be shared with us this evening. Please turn your attention to the screen for just a moment to hear what people had to say about Barry McLeod, our 2018 Citizen of the Year.
Hi, Bear. I know how much you like being called that publicly. In all seriousness, thank you, Barry, for leading our family to live by the highest ethical standards and with the deepest love and compassion for our community. You've never wavered in your calling to reach the youth, whether it was through a job creation sports store, coaching, making rockets with boys, hiking, biking, building a playground in Skatine, or imagining a youth resource center in Mission. In 30 years, many of us will be eating Jell-O or gone. But you have chosen to look to our future by investing in young people, by believing in them and working tirelessly to let them know that they're valued and important. For some, you may be the only one to raise them up. Every day you've lived out our family mantra to learn to live right, see that justice is done, defend widows and orphans, and help the oppressed, to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Although I know you hate the attention, today you're being held beside many others before you, with you, and after you, that inspire our community of Mission to make a difference in our little corner of the world. I'm proud to walk beside you and look forward to the years ahead. Thanks, Bear.
Barry has two very wonderful values in his life that have influenced mine, I think. One is that he shows how to love people, and he knows how to develop trust within society. And I think love and trust are two of the prime things that Barry should be celebrated for.
Hey Dad, just wanted to congratulate you on winning Mission Citizen of the Year. You've been a great role model to the community as well as to our family. I'm proud to call you my dad. Love ya.
Barry has exemplified the term unconditional love. He takes our most troubled youth and loves them, and over time, that love sustains them.
What I learned from Barry is, even though sometimes the youth are angry or upset and don't follow our suggestions, he said, we'll just try another day tomorrow.
Barry has inspired me to never give up, that you keep trying, because he never gives up. And known him since my granddaughter went to school with his children, and we've crossed paths in many ways since then, always through the community work that he does and that I find myself in.
I came to Mission relatively recently and found that Barry has the experience and background and motivation to deal with people that most of the rest of us would rather stay away from. He has a knack to getting close to people who need help in our community, and he's dedicated himself on a mission, I guess, to help mostly young people, but he also reaches out to others.
Non-judgmental.
Love.
Enjoyable.
Dedicated.
Apparently not knowledge.
I would say Barry is very humble.
Hey Dad, thanks for sharing your passion for the outdoors, carving, and kids with me. Love from Manning Park.
At this time, Councillor Plekas will present Barry McLeod with his 2018 Citizen of the Year Award, and then we'll invite Barry to the podium to say a few words.
Is Jenny back? Yeah. Jenny.
She's coming. She's coming. We got her ready.
There we go.
Are you okay if we have one more on that side?
Well, that was a little unfair, having a video I wasn't expecting. That kind of threw me off. Mayor Hawes, City Council members, District of Mission staff, and guests, I have a short speech on these cards so I don't forget something and so I don't ramble. But before I read it, I have 3 disclaimers. First, I really don't like being in the limelight. I much prefer to be backstage than on the stage. Second, I'm usually used to talking to young people, maybe a couple at a time, and not theaters full of adults. And the third thing is, this is not my usual dress for work. I prefer jeans and a t-shirt, you know. But I thought I got a brand new Rex Cox suit last year, and I should wear it at least before it goes out of style. So that's my idea. Okay, I'm only here receiving this award tonight because of the people that love and support me. And there's so many, I really can't begin to list them all, but here's an edited list. I want to start by thanking my beautiful and talented wife, who I think figured out that video that I wasn't expecting, Sue. She's a principal out in Dewdney and has been an amazing partner in our life. My 4 children, Kelly and Cam, who are here tonight. My son Wes, who is up in Salmon Arm doing the U16 hockey evaluations, and my other daughter Sarah, who's in Quebec going to university. So we miss them, but I'm thankful for the kids that were here. The rest of my family, my mom and my dad, meant so much in my life over the years. My mom is here tonight, Emily. My dad, Mac, he passed away 10 years ago, but I think he's watching this from the best seat, not in the house, you know? And, excuse me. My 2 brothers, one of my brothers, Ron, is here. My other brother couldn't make it tonight, and their families mean a lot to me. My extended family, I have aunts and one of my cousins here, and so many others. We have a very tight extended family that has meant so much to me over the years. I've also been fortunate to work for Greater Vancouver Youth Unlimited, or what we used to call Youth for Christ, since 1981, and so many colleagues I've worked with over the years. Kelvin, who was on the video, is my supervisor now. I used to supervise him. We kind of switched roles, but we work together so well, and I appreciate him and all the others. And all the other workers, colleagues in this community. There's so many doing really important community work and youth work, and it's a really collaborative community, and people from different government agencies, social services, all kinds of groups, and churches. We work together so well in this community, and it's really appreciated, and it's a privilege. I also want to put an extra little bit in for the staff and volunteers at the Mission Youth House. That's been, excuse me. I wasn't supposed to do that. The Mission Youth House is, I don't even think I'd do it. It's just too close to my heart. But thank you for the community support for that place, because that's what makes the difference in those kids' lives, giving us a chance to be there and to love them when they haven't had a lot of that in their life. I'm going to get on from that. I also want to thank the youth of Mission. Having been a youth worker here since 1993, I've worked with many, many young people. There's probably people in this room that were in a team I coached or in a club I ran or something, and I've had a privilege of working with so many of them, and they're amazing young kids in our community, and without them I wouldn't have a job, so it's important that they're there. And most importantly, I want to thank God for his protection and provision in my life and in my family's life. It was kind of his idea in the first place. I was in a chapel service in a little college in Winnipeg many, many years ago, 1976, and God specifically called me to help troubled young people in BC. I didn't even know what that meant at the time, and years later I started, and I've been doing it for the last 37 years, and I've loved all of it. So it's an honor to get to do what I do, and I really appreciate all the support and help that's got me here. In closing, I want to again thank the District of Mission for choosing me as the Citizen of the Year and honoring me in this way. And I believe that that shows that this district is interested in its young people, because that's kind of what I'm about. And if they appreciate me and what I do, then they're appreciating our youth. And they're our future. They're our future leaders, and one of the greatest assets we have. And I think they both deserve and need our support and compassion. So thank you so much.
Councillor Hamilton.
Well, that was amazing. And now we come to the final part of this evening's celebrations, our Freeman of the City presentations. For those of you who do not know, the Freeman of the City is the highest honor that a municipality can bestow on a person or an organization. Awarded by the unanimous vote of council, the Freeman Medal is given to those who have an established history of broad community involvement and volunteer support over a period of the last 2 decades. It's a recognition of exceptional and distinguished community service. Our first Freeman of the City Medal this evening is being given to Betty Robertson. Betty has lived in Mission for almost 50 years and worked at Mission Memorial Hospital for the better part of 2 decades. After retiring in 1987, Betty joined the Lifetime Learning Center, where she took classes in journal writing and family history studies. In 1988, she began working with Catherine Marcellus and Betty Dandy to document the history of the hospital. Under the auspices of the Lifetime Learning Center Society, these women formed the Mission Studies Group and published a history of medicine, nursing, and community involvement in the building of our local hospital. During this time, Betty also became involved with the Mission Community Archives, where she has been the volunteer coordinator ever since. Through her exceptional organizational skills and genuine interest in others, she has helped build a team-oriented workplace and a nurturing atmosphere where people feel valued and happy to volunteer. In 2006, the District of Mission presented Betty with a Lifetime Achievement Award, and in 2010, she was recognized by the Mission Community Heritage Commission for her work on the books Mission's Living Memories. Betty, now 94 years young, still volunteers at the Mission Community Archives each week to make sure that the volunteer hours are kept up to date. When asked why she loves the archives, Betty said that volunteering there makes her feel youthful, and that the work is always interesting and the people are always wonderful. Betty has had a hand both in creating and preserving Mission's history, and this community truly would not be the same without her. At this time, Mayor Hawes would like to say a few words before presenting Betty Robertson with her well-deserved 2018 Freedom of the City Medal.
Betty, the one thing that, well, maybe I don't want to. Here's the way to do it. One thing I've learned is that unless you know where you're being, you really don't understand where you're going. And that's what the value of the archives is. And I just want to show you one thing here. I don't know how many of you have read this book. Betty's book. So Kathy Marcellus and Betty Dandy co-authored this with Betty, but this is it's a remarkable history of our hospital. And I highly recommend, if you've never read this book, I would suggest that you find a copy, read it, and understand how our hospital developed and all of the characters, the wonderful characters in our community that helped make that happen. And unless we have people like Betty who are recording this kind of stuff, it gets lost. And so, Betty, for all the work you do at the archives, for all the work you've done for our community, documenting all kinds of things, thank you so much. What I do believe, Betty, is that you've got many more years. 94 is the old 60, I think, so Put this on. I'll give you a pin. And I believe Betty is an extreme and long past due becoming a Freeman. So congratulations, Betty. And I want you to forward here to Tennessee.
All right. It's my pleasure to speak about Terry Gitta, who is the next Freeman of the city. Terry Gitta moved to Canada in September of 1968 and has, for the past 50 years, given selflessly of his time and talents for the betterment of our community. He is a Queen's Jubilee Medal recipient, a former District of Mission councillor, and a longtime member and leader within the Mission Guru Sikh Society. Terry is a kind man who cares deeply about mission, the Fraser Valley, and the well-being of those around him. Over the years, he's been a director with the Fraser Valley Regional District, the Fraser Valley Regional District Hospital Board, the Fraser Valley Regional Library Board, the Mission Foundation, Mission Community Services Society, and the Fraser Valley Credit Union. He served on the Mission Foundation Scholarship Committee, 2 different citizens advisory committees, the Mission and District Health Council, the Mission Recreation Committee, and the Mission Abbotsford Transit Committee. He has also been either the president or the secretary of the Mission Guru Sikh Society since 1995 and is currently serving as both. While by no means exhaustive, this list serves as a reflection of both Terry's love for the community and his commitments to its residents. We are deeply grateful for his service on behalf of the people of Mission, and it is with great pleasure that Mayor Hawes will now present Terry Gitta with his 2018 Freeman of the City Medal.
Come on, Terry. Now, a moment ago, I did say that unless you know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. And so I kind of screwed up. Betty was supposed to say a few words. And so Terry will say a few words after, and then I'm going to get Betty to come back up to the podium and say a few words. So sometimes you screw up. So I will tell you this about Terry Gitta, though. I don't know, a little over 30 years ago, I used to work for the Toronto Dominion Bank here. And when they were going to move me out of the city, my family said, "You go, we're staying." So I left the bank and stayed, and I got a real estate license, and I decided I'd go into real estate. And I looked around at all the companies in Mission, and there was only one company that I could go to, and that was the one that was owned by Terry Gitta. Terry and I have known each other for a long, long time. I know what a generous man this is. I know how deeply, deeply he feels about our community and is so committed to so many things in our community and has done so many things in our community. So Terry, this is a well-deserved recognition, and buddy,
Thank you,
so I'm going to start by giving you this. Then I'm going to give you, well, if you want to go over to the podium over there and say a few words, and then I'll.
Thank you, Randy, for your worship. I think all the people who received the awards, they love this community. That's why they have given so much time of their life away from their families. I did the same. I love this community. For almost 50 years, I was involved. I think you heard most of the stuff, and there were more I was involved in because I loved this community. I think there's only slight difference. Mel will be receiving the same award I am receiving. His ranch provides services for the kids from all over. So the only thing I'm matching with him is a little bit that at the Sikh temple we did last year 50 weddings. We do almost 40 every year, and I do the MC's work. And most of those weddings are from all over in the Lower Mainland. So that's the only service I provide to outside of mission. Otherwise, rest of the services were provided to the mission people. And a couple of things I loved. Community services, I was on the board for 15 years. And another one which I loved, I was on the scholarship committee of the Mission Foundation, and I served actually on the Mission Community Services. I was the longest board member on that board. And same thing with the Mission Foundation, the scholarship committee, I served 16 years. We used to interview kids and read their bios. It was a very time-consuming process. So, I don't want to waste too much of your time. We provided all the services because we love you all. We love mission. Thank you, Mayor and the Council, giving me this award. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the District of Mission for selecting me for this very special honor. When I began volunteering, I found I was just pleased to work with so many great people, giving of their time and their expertise to build and support this community. With their dedication, it means that we have a wonderful place to live and work in Mission. Again, thank you.
Cal Crawford is a retired real estate agent who credits his parents with teaching him the importance of being involved and giving back to one's community. A longtime Mission resident and lifelong volunteer, he has served tirelessly on behalf of a variety of different organizations and boards, including the Mission Regional Chamber of Commerce, the Mission Midday Rotary Club, the Kinsman Club of Mission, Community Futures, North Fraser Investment, the Mission International Cultural Association, the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board, Broker Council, Mission Hospice Society, Mission Community Service Society, and the Mission Senior Center Association, just to name a few. Cal is a Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal winner, as well as the past recipient of both Community Service Award and Citizen of the Year Award. Not long ago, he served as the Director of Ceremonies for the 2014 BC Winter Games, and along with his fellow directors was recognized by Council in the form of a Special Accomplishment Award and induction into the District of Mission Sports Hall of Fame. Cal is known for being intelligent, thoughtful, hardworking, cooperative, and his ability to lead and inspire others has been a great benefit to this community. Cal says he enjoys volunteering, considers it both a privilege and a civic responsibility to provide input into the development of the community. He also commented that he had the pleasure of knowing many of Mission's Freemen's past and present, and that he is deeply honored and humbled to be included in their company.
Cal is on vacation. So, and I know he would rather be here, but his daughter is here, and we'll say a few words for Cal. But I do have to say this about Cal. I'm along with several others on council, we're in the Rotary Club. Cal is in the Rotary Club. Cal is the what's called the Sergeant at Arms. If you do anything, well, you don't have to do anything. He just has to look at you, and you get a fine. That's the way Cal. But I'll say this about Cal. I don't know if they mentioned Mission Showcase. Years ago, we had a thing called Mission Showcase. Cal started it. In fact, he had hair then, a full head of hair. That long ago. This is a guy who served our community in so many different functions. And the amazing thing about Cal is, if you go into a room where there's a lot of people and there's an event going on, if Cal isn't there, you got to wonder, is he sick? Why isn't Cal here? Where's Cal? He is everywhere. He does everything. This is a busy guy. And I do also have to say, and although you're never supposed to be political at events like this, I see that Cal has put his feeler out to run for council in the next election. Man, I got to say, he'd be a great one. So I hope. Just saying. So if you want to say a few words, and we'll... Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is much easier to do from behind a podium, and he wrote a little thing for me to say. So good evening. My name is Cassie Crawford. As his owner Randy Hawes said, my parents are away on vacations for a couple weeks to Ireland. So my father wrote a few words that he would like me to read to you. I am extremely pleased and honored and very humbled to have been selected to receive the Freeman of the City Award. I'm very proud to join the past and current recipients of this award, as I have long admired and respected them. I would like to pass a special thank you to Council for selecting me, and to also give an enormous salute to all of the deserving recipients of tonight's community awards. Thank you.
Good evening. It gives me great pleasure tonight to award the Freedom of the City Award to Mel Zajac. Mel Zajac is a successful businessman whose kindness and generosity of spirit has impacted and, in some cases, outright changed the lives of tens and possibly hundreds of thousands of people over the years. Though not a resident of Mission, he has deep ties to the community as a longtime property owner. Well known far and wide for his philanthropy, Mel's relationship with Mission began in the late 1980s while he was watching TV. There was a segment on the news about Sandcastle Preschool, a special needs group in our community which was in danger of losing its operating space. Mel was so touched by this story that he reached out to them and offered to build the facility. What took place over the next year was nothing short of remarkable. As good as the word, Mel moved them from the small, cramped quarters they were in danger of losing into a beautiful new building situated on 2nd Avenue that has been the home of both the preschool and Mission Association Community Living ever since. In the years that followed, Mel also opened up the world-renowned Zajac Ranch for children on the western shores of Stave Lake. This 40-acre ranch provides an opportunity for children with serious and chronic illnesses and disabilities to experience the joys of summer camp, often for the first time. With a remarkable caring staff and a state-of-the-art medical facility, Center Zajac Ranch offers a safe environment for children to learn, explore, and grow. It is truly an extraordinary place, built by an extraordinary man. Mel says that there's a great joy and satisfaction in helping others, and that from time to time, when he was young, growing up in a poor family in Manitoba, he knew that he wanted to make a difference in his life. Both an Order of BC and an Order of Canada recipient, Mel has tremendous impact, not just on Mission, but also the world around him. The scope of his philanthropy is awe-inspiring, and we are profoundly grateful for the way that he has influenced and improved the community and the lives of Mission residents. With much appreciation on behalf of the District Commission, Mayor Hawes will now present Mel Zajac with his 2018 Freedom of the City Medal.
Come on up, Mel. So, I just met Mel for the first time back in the 1980s at a fundraising golf tournament for the Sandcastle Preschool. Mel it just blew me away because, you know, it didn't say it there, but I know that Mel unfortunately lost his two sons, Mel Jr. and Marty, from really unfortunate accidents. And rather than being down, Mel decided to devote basically his life to raising money and helping others in the name of his two sons. And he's done that for decades. Now, I have to tell you that this remarkable man, who I think Danny read, has the Order of British Columbia and the Order of Canada, which is in itself a huge honor. But for us to be able to make him a Freeman of our city is an honor for us. To have Mel as a part of our community, I believe, is a huge honor. Zajac Ranch is a magic place. It's a place with kids, where kids with debilitating diseases can go and have like a normal camp experience, because every other kid in the camp is just like them. So they're normal. And it's probably the only time many of those kids are ever going to go to a camp. So any of you who have never been to the Zajac Ranch and seen what a magic place it is, I urge you to go and have a look. And they're always looking for volunteers up there as well, aren't you, Mel?
They are, definitely.
So, you know, on behalf of council, on behalf of the citizens of Mission, Mel, you know, first I'll give you the, and it's such an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
Have a few words.
I want to thank His Worship, the Mayor, and the City Missions Council. This is a great honor. I really appreciate it. I met the Mayor some time ago, and he was been a great supporter of our ranch from day one. And I met him a time in the street here, and I said, well, I'm buying this property, but it's very expensive. He said, don't worry. In 5 years, it'll be worth it. I said, okay, but he was wrong. It was 5.5 years. This camp is ready for children with life-threatening diseases, and we're very proud to have these children come to a ranch, as Mr. the Mayor, his honoree, mentioned earlier. It's a pleasure to have all these kids come there. They have an opportunity, like ordinary children, to enjoy the life of ordinary child. I want to thank you very much, and I look forward to helping Mission become a destination city. Thank you very much.
What we're going to do, as we're getting closer to the end, actually I can turn this off and move over here, if I knew how to turn it off, and I don't. I just got to make sure if any of you know Christine Bruff, she's one of our staff members that has done the lion's share of organizing here. When Christine tells you what you're supposed to do, it's very bad if you don't do it. I have to tell you that. She can be very scary sometimes. So the first thing that we need to do is actually, I think anyway, I'd love to see a standing ovation for these four wonderful people. because you'll need your certificate to get a photo taken. And if you come up this way, we'll get you to go to the back there where the photographer is and get a picture taken. So while they're going to get their photographs, what I'd like to do is first, again, thank Solomon and Leonard Jansen for the music before. And when we conclude here, which will be very shortly, there is going to be refreshments out in the lobby, cakes and coffee and whatever. And I see some of you are already getting excited. So they will also be playing some music out in the lobby. We'd also like to thank Mission Community Archives for their assistance in putting together a lot of the information about some of the people who got awards tonight. Without their help, this would be very difficult. The Clark Theatre and the school food program is who has put together the food for tonight. And so thanks to the kids, and I'm sure you'll have some beautiful treats out there. The other thing I want to do is, where's the rest of council? We have some other thanks for some of the folks that helped tonight.
So we've got,
So first, yeah, okay, Annie and Krista, if you want to come out. So it's Annie Dunville and Krista D'Souza. Where are they?
Annie and Krista. This is Annie.
Oh, you guys can.
Okay.
Okay, so if you guys do that, and then
Come out of the light. So that's for Annie.
So backstage, people have been moving around and got to go to the green room and find your way and come out and go back to your seat. And these are the people who help make sure things run smoothly. No thanks to us on council, by the way, so thanks a lot, you guys. And then we have what I guess in some places you'd call the Sergeant Major, the person who really put in hour after hour on this program, wrote the program, scripted everything, gave us very solid instructions that some of us, like myself, didn't follow that closely, but I guess we'll pay for that tomorrow. Where's Christine?
There she is.
Christine Bruff is just hours. You guys all give that to her, and I've got another thing for her. Now, Christine's also, I know that sometimes she likes a bit of refreshment. She's just a solid gold performer, so really it's a solid gold. Without staff members like this, our city just doesn't run. That's the truth. So thank you so much for everything you've done.